It's January 11th. It's been about 30 days since Zach has had his bone marrow transplant. He's looking really good. He says he's feeling really good. He says physically he feels great. Things are going along pretty well. Yesterday we went up to Children's Hospital. They wanted to do about a month post-transplant PET scan, CT scan to see how things are going. He had lab work done. The labs came back great. Everything looks good. White blood cell count looks good. Chromatics look good. ANC count looks great. There was a little bit of concern though with this PET scan. I'll try and explain it as best I can. So what the PET scan does, what the CT scans do is they look for any type of cellular activity that may be showing any signs of cancer still on the body. The one tumor we have talked about in the past, which was in his chest near his heart, it's showing that it's finally necrotizing, which is a good thing. But they've also found a couple other tumors that show some hot spots on them. So what does that mean? It can mean one of two things. It can mean either A, Zach's body is now producing a lot of T cells, which is what the body uses to help build immunities. It could be that the cellular activity around those tumors are getting active because of the T cell count, or it could mean worst case scenario that sadly the cancer is not completely gone and it's starting to actually come back again, which is very concerning. So I mean, one of two things is going to happen. Either, well, one thing for sure is on Tuesday, coming up on the 15th, he's going to have biopsies done on the tumors. They found one in his chest that's a little active, and they found one in his abdomen that looks to have some activity to it. So until they come back with the results from the biopsies, they don't know if the cancer is coming back or not. The doctor did say that there's been instances where the PET scan, CT scan shows hot cellular activity, hot being that it shows red on the scans, and that means either A, there's a lot of T cell activity going on. T cells are what's used for immune system, in your immune system I should say, and then worst case scenario it could be the cancer cellular activity starting to pick up again, meaning that the Hodgkin's has come back, unfortunately. Let's just go with the worst case scenario. The only other person that you may have heard of is a guitar player who plays for Def Leppard by the name of Vivian Campbell. A few years ago, Vivian was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He too went through chemotherapy. He also had a bone marrow transplant. He relapsed, and then now he's on immunotherapy, which has helped to the point where he is pretty much in remission right now. The immunotherapy he's on is the same immunotherapy that they gave President Carter when he had melanoma. And the cancer that President Carter had at the time had a very low survival rate, and President Carter was able to go through this experimental immunotherapy regimen and was able to beat cancer, and he's in remission now. And for a guy his age, he's looking pretty good. That gave us a lot of hope, meaning that regardless if the cancers come back or regardless if the cancer never got eradicated, the cellular activity looked minimal or had been eradicated prior to the bone marrow transplant. There was a good minute possibility that the cancer wasn't totally gone, and then the transplant happened and the T cells are active, and it could just be high activity on the T cells, or worst case scenario, the Hodgkin's is starting to come back. The one thing that is concrete and one thing that's for sure going to happen is Zach's still going to go through the 6-month clinical trial, which they feel totally confident that if the cancer has come back, the clinical trial, the immunotherapy will put cancer into remission. So that made us feel a little bit better, especially knowing that Vivian Campbell and President Carter both had the same immunotherapy that Zach is going to go through with very, very, very good results. So Zach's got a really good upbeat attitude about it, and he's just like, I'm not going to worry about it until they finally tell me it is actually cancer again. So until then, fuck it, I'm not going to worry about it. So I wish I had his attitude about it. I'll be honest with you, being told that yesterday was kind of the breaking point for me. I have not been in a good frame of mind since then. Yeah, I'm a little upset, a little angry, but what can you do? You just gotta have to expect the worst, but hope for the best. But I know for sure that everything's going to work out in the end. It's hard to explain what I'm going through right now, but also at the same time, I'm very hopeful. I know that Zach's gonna beat this and things will be fine. Sorry that it took me so long to get a new update, but I wanted to wait until after his PET scan, CT scan, to give you guys a heads up on how well he's doing and if there were anything different that had come up that was to be of concern. I would like to say thanks to my friend Tim and his wife Teresa for coming up to see Zach when he was in the hospital, and I would also like to thank my friend Michael Cook, who came up a few times as well. Thanks to everybody who's been checking in, again, on whether it's Facebook Messenger, text message. One thing that we are really happy about though is, and Zach's actually really proud of this, he said that he was going to get out of the hospital within 2 weeks. After his bone marrow transplant, he was actually home within 16 days. So that right there is a testament as to how tough my son is. So that's it for right now. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to share on your timeline or wherever it is you want to share it to, whether it's Facebook or Twitter. And until next time, just talk to you guys soon. Keep your chins up. I know I'm gonna, at least I'm gonna try. And thanks a lot and have a good weekend. Talk to you guys soon.